Hello there, crackers, and later over on YouTube. I'll just try to do this as discreet as I can. Oh, we've got the older kids out. Elijah, Shiloh, come on, you got about 7 minutes on the park, dude, while I do this. Anyway, first responders should be in your area. I'm just on the park outside where my GP is, and paramedics have pretty much been used by the GPs to be responsive where GPs can't get out. And one of the massive things that has obviously been talked about is safeguarding and protecting the NHS, because it is overfloated. It is at, doctors, GPs. Personal boundaries, Elijah. He knows he has to ask before he steps into any family whether they're safeguarding or... He's fine. There you go, Elijah, you're fine. There you go, you're allowed to play with the kids. You all right over there, Shiloh? Yeah, the boys know personal boundaries. If they approach any family, they have to remain at the social distancing. And where's your trainers, dude? Where have you put them? So basically, for somebody like me who lives with a chronic pain condition, which means that, one, I live with pain 24/7, be it my knees, my hips, my shoulders, my elbows. Some of it doesn't hurt. Like sometimes my elbows pop, my elbows do hurt, but sometimes my shoulders grind and things, but I was born with it, so I don't know anything different. I don't know what a normal body feels like. I don't know what it feels like to move around without my body subluxing and popping and disc bulging and nerves twinging. And look at you, Shiloh, look. So say Shiloh's climbing up here, yeah, and he falls and he hits his head, or I'm coming, or because he's a kid who takes his shoes off. What are you doing? Which way are you going? Oof! Or I didn't catch him and he had an injury. The first thing you decide is it an accident, an emergency? Do you call 999 and for them to send an immediate ambulance response, or can you ring 911 or whatever it is, 101 or 111, and they will decide whether for you to just see your GP when they are open. In order to see your GP here, which is my GP here, go on then. No, you're not climbing up the top there, that's out. Come on, you've got some free time while I do this quickly. Just watch out for any glass, please. So being that my son likes to keep, and a child area should be by the council kept from glass at all times. There shouldn't be glass on a children's park. And it should be clear that no glass bottles come on a children's park. And children should be allowed to run around in the grass without their shoes on, because it's healthy for them, especially for children like mine. It connects you to source, to energy. It's great for their feet. It's great to get them to be using their feet instead of in a... Do you want me to take your bag? Just watch your feet on that though, because it moves differently. He loves it. But anyway, obviously, to get in here to see a GP when you're dealing with a chronic condition is really difficult. With EDS, yeah, I'm coming on. With EDS, I'm going to bring you on here. We deal with nausea and dizziness anyway. We deal with brain fog. We deal with like right now, I've got pain in the base of my neck. I've got a headache. I've got subluxed right shoulder. My right thumb is not holding in place. If I drink a coffee with my left, my thumb drops out. My fingers, as you know, writing is very difficult. My hands feel constantly like they've got rubber gloves on them. Constant pins and needles in my hands, sometimes my feet. I have nerve damage to my spine, which is what we're waiting to find out about, with cranial instability. That is what has been holding me back. For me, the first time I was taken in, went to the doctors, and the doctors kept saying there was nothing wrong, and then when we got older it was growing pains. And then when I had my first son, when you have EDS, hypermobility or anything like that, because of its collagen, if you breastfeed or have a child, you produce more prolactin. So that means the mother gets more floppy, she has problems with her ribs, mainly doesn't carry children to full term, and becomes what's called a high risk pregnancy. When you go into hospital, even to have a child, if you choose to go into hospital, you don't have to, you can have a home birth, you can do what you like really, but we have these facilities there. It's not the days when women, oh, it's very slippery on here, dude, because it's wet. It's not the days when women used to bite down on a cloth and bit and go to push a baby out. We have hospitals. In some places in other countries, they don't even have clean living water. They don't even have, they're not great, but we have all of these flats if need be. There was a problem with housing back in the 1974 after the war, and this is how they chose to deal with that problem and built tower blocks to be able to put people in after houses were all completely destroyed in World War II. That was the solution. These things, that was the solution. It's not necessarily the solution now, but do we have an overcrowding population here in Great Britain? Yes, of course we do. Elijah, I hope you're not allowing for his brother to be pushed out. Are you sure? Because he knows he's not allowed to have his own brother pushed out. No, okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. Just make sure there's space for all of the brothers together. Brothers and blood, then friends. And sisters, sorry. I'm watching. So anyway, now what they've done is they've put out first responders. So this will go in with multi-agency, because first responders can be at people's meetings. Say a social are helping out somebody who is a family and they have epileptic fits. Now we know what this is, okay? So if someone says, I have epilepsy, I'm having a fit, I've got children at home, the first point of call, which is an operator, would know that a first response person would be someone to send if they're local, but you're going to send an ambulance at the same time. There is a procedure for things like this. If someone has an asthma attack, say a father is at home with his children and the mum is out shopping, she's stuck in traffic, he's rang to say, I'm having an asthma attack, then she rings the phone, can't get hold of him, one of the children answers and says, Dad is on the floor. The mum then has to do something. What if the dad doesn't have a mum to call, or a wife, or his own mother, and he's in the house on his own, and his children then have to make a decision because their dad is on the floor? Or what if their dad or their mum is an alcoholic? Should children be able to deal with situations like this? Should you take all epileptic children? Oh, wow. Oh, thank you. Bless. Gold heart. I got a gold heart. They always like to go for, I would say this family that's on the park is Ugandan, maybe Nigerian. West Africa, definitely West African, I can say that, definitely, West African. I'd definitely say West African. I'll find out in a bit, and I'll find out what sort of culture the family's from. But they're not born Brits. Their kids are born Brits, that's obvious, but the father is certainly either been here for not as long. So, but people come here because we have a healthcare system, and that is predominantly why people come here. It's not even for work, it's because we have a healthcare system, and we do, and you have to give it to the NHS, you have to give it to the doctors, you have to give it to the GPs, because people are in car crashes, people are in sorry, I've had this woman with a camera sort of around and keeps putting a mask. It's a bit weird. Maybe she's living too, videoing. Who knows? Oh, bless. Now, next to me, I've got... She's on her dimp run. Yes. Thank you, sir. Appreciated. I would have forgot as well. So yeah, I mean, what I'm still explaining, and there's a massive big gap, is when you've got, whether it's first responders, whether it's paramedics, whether it's a GP who is a general practitioner, when somebody with a chronic condition has already been to the specialist, there should be a management plan. In order to have a diagnosis, there has to be a prognosis and how you're going to manage it in the meantime, even if that prognosis is death. What you choose to believe in the middle is up to you. Many people have defied the odds and many doctors have been wrong. But the reality is, let me just go and sit up here on my kids' boots on these rocks for a second. The reality is that people have many conditions, Huntington's disease, people are born with very physical, and I'm not even talking about hidden conditions, I'm talking about very obvious conditions where you can see things like Down syndrome or Williams syndrome or Marfan syndrome. Marfan syndrome is actually on the spectrum for hypermobility EDS. You know, even what we live with, and people don't understand anything from hypermobility, EDS or whatever spectrum, or autism or Asperger's. What do you want to do, darling? Yeah, you can take your boots off for a bit. Give us the boots.
Can I walk around the park?
I need to shoot. Yeah, but I need to shoot off to the next round in a minute because I need to go and quickly see the other side of the city quickly. So I've spoken to the fire brigade as well, and I've spoken to the police, the ambulance people as well. So I've actually got to speak to the main call centre who does know what EDS is. So for me as a family, I just have to educate the community that's around me. Say have a tag around, and this is what I'm going to be designing now. I have EDS things, bendy body, hypermobility, whatever. Where are you going, darling? You're going up there. Just to make sure that if anyone comes to me, that they understand who's medical, that is what I'm dealing with, and it's there. This has been very, very difficult for me to come to this place because I don't like to speak about it. I don't like for other people to even know about it. I was forced into awareness. I thought it would be fun, helping out with fundraising for research. I never ever thought it would put me in the situation that I did. You know, it was just about how can someone like me with such a condition be able to work, support my family, which is why I was going into investing stocks, Bitcoin, currency, all that's cryptocurrency and things, rather than working, because it was something that I could do online, managing my website with my affiliate link marketing, promotional stuff, workshops, seminars, events that I could schedule, and obviously writing books and speaking. And that's what I was meant to be doing. Step Up Britain, or what was Challenge Britain, was me taking what would be one-on-one workshops, seminars and events, and taking it on a mass scale to all of the people in Great Britain to give everybody the opportunity. I've seen people over the lockdown give up corporate jobs in London and bugger off to bloody Bulgaria. You know, we're allowed to be wherever we want. It's not even about being allowed. But when we have a physical condition, and say I do my ulnar bone, or I do my neck, or I do my back, or someone knocks me over, or a police bloody assaults me, or whatever, I have a right to medical care. Whether I'm a single mum, or I've got family, or I've got people around me, I should have family around me that just step in. It's not about stepping up, is it? It's about stepping in for somebody, stepping in for a mother, stepping in for somebody who's got to go and do something, stepping in and keeping their home going, stepping in and keeping the food going, stepping in and keeping the car on the road, stepping in and making sure the kids are getting to school. You know, like I said to the person earlier on, what if I had COVID and I was self-isolating, but my children didn't have COVID and still had to get to school? How do you deal with that situation with a single mother or a father that's working away? So let's bring it to that, to COVID, which, by the way, if you actually understand what's going on, this was meant to be about tuberculosis. So that's what we're actually protecting ourselves from, tuberculosis. You should watch what they do to the... If you understand what's going on in Africa with all the testing of all of these things and how long they've been trying to work this drug out, you'll get it. Many African people have been killed for this. Many. I can't see you up the slide. Hang on, I'm coming down the bottom. Anyway, I just want to say, if you see the new cars out there, your first responders, they're now there, but is there going to cause delays? Are they educated enough? Are they... Yes, I'm here. I'm watching. I've even got the video. Go. Whee! Where are you? Excuse me. I hope you didn't say what I think you just said. All right, and don't even say that, even if they are two dicks walking our way. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, right, we get two freaking numpties walking towards us and my son starts behaving like an idiot. Right, let him up please, you don't ever let him do that. So this GP, by the way, has ignored me for 6 years. I've been treated like a freaking drughead for pain meds. They haven't initiated anything to get us to the specialist. I'm entitled to the funding because I'm pre-diagnosed. Professor Bird is dead, Professor Graham has retired, most of the other ones have gone over to international and things like that. The EDS UK doesn't support families one damn bit, mate. Neither does the other one. They only fundraise for research, they don't fundraise to support families. There's no physio care for us, there's no accident and emergency treatment for us, there's nothing. It's just a whim. Who you get, who turns up, what sort of person you meet, do they know about the condition, do they not know about the condition, what do they know about the condition, what do they opinions to be know about the condition, what experience have they had with the condition, do they know what to do, and how do they perceive the condition, because somebody who doesn't experience that level of pain wouldn't understand how somebody who lives with a chronic condition does manage that level of pain. And then how do you educate the family and the friends and the community? How do you educate their place of work? How do you educate the people around them? For my two boys here, how do you educate the teachers? And should we even have to? Should we be the ones to mask it? What's going on now? All right, okay, I need to get over there now before Doodah gets over there, so I've got to get over that side. Yeah, we're going to miss everything tonight, and sunrise set and everything. We need to stay on the schedule today. It's Sunday. I've not even managed to get my cleaning done. Also, things like that. You know, if I have my back's out, how am I expected to get on with normal basic domestic chores in my house? And if I can't do it, who does it? So I'm forced to carry on. I'm forced to continue doing things. And maybe I could do something with dancing and skating, but until I've got somebody who understands how my body needs to train, there's nothing I can do about it. And whose problem is it really? You know, whose problem is it that it's 350 quid for me to speak to get an appointment? Can you put these on, please? Whose problem is it? Anyway, I'm going to get my kids off the park. Have a nice day.